heart of the Sunshine State, Valley Sports Sun and Valley Sports Florida. The heart of a fan.
We welcome you to Rays baseball tonight on Valley Sports. The Rays playing host to the Toronto Blue Jays. This is Game 3 of the 4-game series. And with 11 games left, the Rays have taken over the lead in the wild card spot by virtue of already winning the season series from the Toronto Blue Jays. Well, hi again, everyone. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to have you with us tonight. Ryan Bass will join us throughout the evening as well. Well, a big night for the Rays last night, VA, and in many ways a career night for Randy Arozarena.
Well, listen, it was a 6 RBI night, and amongst those 6 RBIs was a home run, a line drive home run down the right field line. That gave him home run number 20, and that has now put him as the second player in franchise history with at least 20 home runs and 30 steals. In fact, he's got 32 steals. Guess what? He's got 39 doubles, too. So he could get one more of them. He could be in the 20, 30, 40 club, joining B.J. Upton in this particular club right here. But he's a playmaker. He makes things happen on the base pass and at the plate. Line drive, gap to gap. He has put on a show all season long.
And on the mound tonight for the Rays, Drew Rasmussen. He's been so important to this team. A couple of outings the last 2 times he's gone out there, not on par with what he expects of himself and what he expects tonight. He's turned into a 10-game winner here.
Listen, Drew Rasmussen on the course of the season has been fantastic. In fact, he was the American League Pitcher of the Month in August. And Dwayne, this is what you're talking about. The last 2 starts, he's given up 8 earned runs over 10 innings. And so what you're looking for here for him to get back to the first 7 starts since the beginning of August is the sharpness of the pitches. You want to see that ride on the fastball again. You want to see the lateness to the cutter, and you want to see that sweeping action and that depth on the slider. That's what you keep your eye on here tonight for Drew Rasmussen. On the other side, Alek Manoah, look what he's done in his last 6 starts. He's 2-1, but that ERA of just 1.32. The thing that boggles your mind about this is in this span, the team is only 3-3, but not because of what Alek Manoah has been doing. He has been outstanding, mixing in the fastball, both versions, the 4-seam, the 2-seam, with a sweeping slider. He has been outstanding, doing his job very well over the last 6 starts. And here is our Discover matchup as you look for Alek Manoah going for win number 15. Drew Rasmussen looking to bounce back and get that ERA a little bit lower and get that Rays another win in this series.
So the Rays 10-7 against this Toronto club. They are 5-2 here at Tropicana Field. First pitch just around the corner. Save more, play more, do more. By the Florida Lottery. Since 1988, the Florida Lottery has contributed more than $42 billion to education. And by Bayfront Health, St. Petersburg, the official healthcare partner of the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays and the Blue Jays square off in Game 3 of their 4-game series. The Rays have taken over the top spot in the American League wild card standings. Followed up his Rookie of the Year campaign last season with another spectacular year in 2022. Last night, Randy's 6 RBI evening propelled Tampa Bay to the top spot in the American League wildcard race. And tonight at the Trop, a pair of right-handers take the hill. Drew Rasmussen squares off against Alek Manoah and the Blue Jays. We are set to play baseball tonight from Tropicana Field. A look at Drew Rasmussen there. Here's a quick look at the lineup. for Toronto, brought to you by your local Ford dealer. George Springer is going to be in the leadoff spot again as the DH, followed by Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero Jr. hitting third. Catcher is Alejandro Kirk, with Matt Chapman again at third, hitting fifth in front of Teoscar Hernandez. In left field, hitting seventh, Raimel Tapia. Whit Merrifield is at second base. He'll hit eighth, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in the ninth spot, playing center field tonight.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, it's going to be right-hander Drew Rasmussen, our Florida Lottery jackpot stat. His career against the Blue Jays, 7 games, 6 of them have been starts. That ERA just over 2.5, and has only allowed 2 home runs. Does a great job of keeping the ball in the yard. So very important against this very aggressive, young, slugging team. Let's take a look at that Devil Ray defense and see how it's going to line up here tonight. In the outfield, left to right, we've got David Peralta, Jose Siri, and Randy Arozarena. Across the infield, third to first, Jonathan Aranda, Wander Franco, Miles Mastrobuoni, and Ji-Man Choi, with Francisco Mejia back behind the plate.
And stepping in is George Springer, the DH, to lead off for Toronto. Drew Rasmussen all set to go to work. Here is the first pitch of this game, a big cut and a miss at the fastball up in the zone. Strike one to get this one started. Rays playing tonight's game in their white Devil Rays jerseys. They are 4-0 wearing those jerseys. Begin with the fastball, 96, a little elevated on the NPH meter and a little elevated above the strike zone. 0-2 count.
Well, that's what we wanted to see. It's what we talked about coming in, the life of the pitches, the ride and that velocity on the fastball, the cutter, and the slider.
Way up there on that one.
I think that's what we've seen. You know, the last couple of starts that have not gone particularly well for Drew, the sharpness of the pitches just hasn't been there. The slider's been rolling a little bit. The cutter hasn't been as late and as sharp. And you can see tonight he is a determined young man.
So it is fouled back. The slider in there. It's
catcher's interference,
and we're going to have catcher's interference here. Charge to Mejia. It'll be an error charge to the Rays catcher.
Let's take a look. I don't know if the Rays are convinced that that's a legit call. I don't see anything. Looked like he swung almost underneath the glove right there. That didn't touch it.
No, he didn't touch him at all.
At all.
And the Rays would like to have that one looked at.
And I'll tell you, you've got to be very confident to challenge this early. A few pitches in. That bat did not touch Mejia's glove. Didn't even get the string that was hanging off of him.
Corey Blazier conferring.
Tampa is challenging the catcher's interference call.
Corey Blazier conferring with Tom Halley and the crew chief who made the announcement. The Rays have a challenge underway.
Ironically enough, he made the call on the challenge, not the call on the play, which is what he does for a living.
And the Rays pretty confident with this one.
Have to be. I mean, what are you, 4 pitches in? And so they feel like this is going to be a slam dunk. And the 2 looks that we saw, that bat doesn't look like it's really anywhere near Mejia's glove. There's no movement of the glove. I can't imagine that this stands. I mean, look at the glove. Just take a look at that. It's going to get hit. That glove's going to move. There's nothing. That's just a swing and a foul ball.
After review, the call stands. Catcher's interference. Tampa loses their challenge.
Well, the Rays will not be happy with that. And boy, from what we saw, there's no way that can stand.
That's awful. That's absolutely awful. Well,
I mean, that really is. You talk about being stunned with the resolution of that challenge. Wow.
Well, the dart must have landed on Stans. That's all.
Well, here's Bo Bichette. And now a strike is called. Wow. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
Maybe the lines got crossed and they called in for a college football play.
The ground ball is short. Franco, Mastrobuoni one. There's two. As fate would have it, 6-4-3. And the world is good again. 6-4-3 on the double play off the bat of Bichette.
Tailor-made right here. Nice little flip. Miles Mastrobuoni got plenty of time and a nice feed over to Choi.
They eliminate the bogus base runner. 2 gone with the bases empty.
The thing that you're most angry about is not even the call. The fact that you lose your challenge before there was an out recorded.
Yeah. Now Vladimir Guerrero. It's a little chopper. Rasmussen will have to cover. He's over there, takes the toss from Choi. No runs. Nobody left, and the Rays are coming in to hit. No score in this one. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Rays, brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Jonathan Aranda is going to lead it off at third tonight, followed by Wander Franco, and then Randy Arozarena. Down the middle, David Peralta hits cleanup in front of the DH Manuel Margot. Miles Mastrobuoni in there hitting sixth tonight at second base in front of Francisco Mejia, G-Man Choi, and Jose Siri.
Yeah, that lineup's going to have to be on point tonight because with Alek Manoah taking the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays, let's take a look at our Toyota Keys. And that is 6 starts for Manoah against the Rays. The record 3-2, but look at the ERA, 1.69, 45 strikeouts, 37 and a third innings. And again, much like Drew Rasmussen against the Toronto Blue Jays, doing a great job of keeping the ball in the yard and forcing the Rays to have to work from base to base to base to score off of them, and they haven't done much of that.
Well, he has been a major force for this Toronto pitching staff. Just 24 years old. And here is Jonathan Aranda stepping in to lead off. Manoah ready, and the pitch up and away. Bottom of the first underway with a count of 1-0. Aranda opened the Rays offense Thursday with a home run, a leadoff shot in the first inning. And he's up in the count now, 2-0. With the breaking ball out to right field.
Yeah, Barrios just sweeping that slider right down and into the swing of Aranda. A quick start by the Rays. Listen, back-to-back ball games in this series. The Rays have scored 10 runs.
Strike 2-1. Rays with 10 runs, 11 hits last night, 10 runs, 12 hits here Thursday. Foul back 2-2.
You know, you look at Alek Manoah and his breakout of pitches. He's 62% on the fastball, 37 four-seam, 25 two-seam. And then he couples that with a slider and a changeup. That slider, he will vary the speeds on that too. Try to get a little bit bigger break, take some off of it, sweep it.
Foul back. We'll see if the Rays can continue their offense, outscoring Toronto in the first two games 20-11. Aranda fouls it back. And the offense, a big part of Aranda's game. That has been the case throughout his minor league career and getting an opportunity to play in the big leagues. He hit .318 in a little over 100 games with AAA Durham this year. After getting behind in the count, he's now worked it all the way to 3-2.
Alek Manoah does not look comfortable on the mound as of right now at all. The fastballs that he tried to throw away to Aranda were left off the plate, and now the last couple where he's trying to come in to Aranda, they're middle and up. He is having a hard time getting that full extension out to the glove side, and doesn't look very comfortable with the body language either.
And strike three called on that inside edge. It's quite a pitch right there.
Adjustment made. You saw the long delay before this pitch. I think he's just going over the keys of his delivery in his mind, and this one was executed flawlessly. Two-seamer, and he runs it right to that inside corner. That was really the first pitch of the at-bat that he actually executed. Most important one, I guess.
Well, he got the jump on Aranda, who worked it full, and then Manoah made quite a pitch. Here's Wander Franco, and he takes a strike on the outside edge. Wander Franco, big night last night to extend his hitting streak to 10, 351 over that stretch. A double, a couple of hits, a walk, 2 runs scored. Last night's victory for the Rays. On the ground to the right side, Merrifield makes the toss to first. So 2 up, 2 down.
Set that Blue Jay defense for you in the outfield. Left to right, we've got Raimel Tapia, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Teoscar Hernandez. Across that infield, third to first, Matt Chapman, Bo Bichette, Whit Merrifield, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with Alejandro Kirk back behind the plate.
Two outs, bases empty for Randy Arozarena. Randy with a career high 6 runs batted in last night's game. He looks at a strike. Randy 2 for 9 against Manoah. Back 0-2. Manoah, a first-round pick out of the University of West Virginia by Toronto, and once he has got to the big leagues, he has pitched like it. 9-2 last year, 14-7 this year. He's 4th in the league in earned run average right now at 240. In right there. 1-2. Drafted out of high school with Homestead and wound up at West Virginia. The rest is history.
How about that? Career 271 ERA. I mean, how about rolling right into the big leagues with a 271? 23-9.
Arena fouls the fastball back.
You know, and that's the thing too. You know, he rings up some strikeouts. He's not an overpowering strikeout guy. I mean, he's got 168 in his 184 and a third innings now, or 169, I guess, getting around. So not completely overpowering with the stuff and strikeout numbers. Good enough for sure. But boy, he builds up innings. Kind of a throwback type pitcher. He's a guy that does not like getting taken out.
Yeah, that slider defeated by Arozarena as he stays alive there behind in the count.
I read an article on him earlier this season where he just laments the fact that the game has gone to 5 and dive for the starting pitchers. He's like, I want to be out there. I want to finish every game. I know I'm not going to, but I want to be out there pitching deep and taking the pressure off of the bullpen.
Too much time as Arozarena steps back. Well, you have to love that mentality, that's for sure. He wants to be the guy. This is in. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coming off a no decision his last time out against Baltimore. He worked 6 innings in that game, gave up just 1 run, 1 earned run on 4 hits. It was on the 18th. Two, and it's popped up. That's Bichette, the shortstop. Just a few steps into the outfield. 3 up, 3 down. We go to inning 2. No score.
A couple of big injury updates for you guys regarding Brandon Lowe and Shane Baz. Let's start with Lowe. The Rays are shutting him down for the rest of this year, so he's going to miss the remainder of this season with a lingering back issue. Kevin Cash hopes that he can work on that back in the offseason and get it right. As for Shane Baz, doesn't look like he's going to be back next year either. Opting for Tommy John surgery on that injured elbow. Going to miss the rest of this year and out for the 2023 season. As Cash told me, with KK, Zunino, Lowe, Baz, no Glasnow yet. He said this is a resilient group, and he applauds the guys that have filled in these big shoes. Guys.
And Kirk jumps on the first pitch, fastball, and lines it into center. He has a base hit. Talk about a guy who's added some dimension to this lineup.
Yeah, very quietly. You know, just kind of burst onto the scene as having a career year offensively. And for the most part, though, the Rays have kept him in check. They've done a nice job against Kirk.
Matt Chapman. Open in a bit with 95. Pitch moving away from him. 1-1.
An oversized cutter right there. And you think back to Drew Rasmussen's most recent dominant outing. That was his start against the Yankees, where he punched out a career high 10 in 6 innings. And that cutter was absolutely as good as we've seen it all season long in that start.
1-2.
And that fastball that he's showing tonight is a really good sign too, because it does have that late life on it. It's got the good velocity, and if everything is good with the fastball for most pitchers, then the off speed, cutters, breaking balls, they fall right in line.
Popped up left side Over from third base, Aranda makes the catch. Yeah, when his stuff is where he wants it, interesting to watch the hitters because that ball seems to jump on them. And their reaction is it's not where they thought it was going to be.
Well, you know, he's one of those guys that you describe as he doesn't throw to the catcher. He drives pitches through the zone. You know, he's very linear with his mechanics. He's very simple mechanically. You know, he's a stout pitcher. I mean, just a strong guy, and he just powers the ball through the zone and kind of catches up right.
There's a liner up the left side, going to be foul. Teoscar Hernandez trying to jump on that one.
That ball did not get driven through the zone. Teoscar Hernandez has swung the bat well in his career against Rays pitching and actually got out in front on that fastball and hooked it foul.
It's crowded down there in that left field corner. Heads up down there.
Yeah, listen.
Some action.
And when the building, you know, when you start to fill this building, it gets fun in here. It gets loud, great atmosphere.
One on, one out. A little tapper third base side. It's handled by Luis Rivera, the third base coach, former shortstop, and all around good infielder. So it's a 2-strike count on Hernandez. Rasmussen overall has put together some pretty good numbers against the Blue Jays. Although he's 1-2 against them, his lifetime earned run average coming into this one 251, covering 7 appearances. Ahead in the count. And the bat long enough to make contact with the slider and foul it.
What's great about the 0-2 count is Drew Rasmussen, you know, he's going to do what he feels he's got the best feel for here early in the game. But with the 0-2 count, if he's able to reach that pitch, you can take it further. See how far he's willing to go, because you've got a pitch or two to play with. You can really expand the zone. The hitter's already on the defensive, sitting in the 0-2 count.
Upstairs.
Not that far, but you get the point. What does Drew Rasmussen say? Hey, listen, fill up the zone early so that I can remain unpredictable throughout the at-bat. And that's where he really gleans a lot of his success from. Hitter never knows, he's never quite sure what's coming.
1-2. And Hernandez started to go, but checked in time. The appeal made down to Mark Rippinger at first base.
Let's take a look. He does sweep that breaking ball off the plate. Not even close. Good call.
Fly ball center field. That's going to send Siri back, but he's going to have room not yet to the track as he runs it down for the second out. Kirk back to first. You can win big with the Rays 50-50 raffle for every home game. Join the raffle from the comfort of your home. Go to RaysBaseball.com/50-50. Some restrictions apply. Raimel Tapia about to step in. Sitting 264. Coming off a 2-hit night last night, had a double and a single and scored 2 runs. First pitch is down. Breaking ball, he missed down with it. Swing and a foul ball Did not want to make contact there, but that fastball got on him in a hurry before he could stop, and it's 1-1.
Boy, how about Tapia last night? A couple of hits. He drove in a run. That gave him 50 runs batted in on the season, and he is now one of 9 Blue Jays. 9 with at least 50 runs batted in.
8 of them are in the lineup tonight.
I mean,
turns away from the pitch in at 95. It's 2-1.
You think about some of those behemoths what do you call it? National League. You got the Mets and the Dodgers at 7. The Blue Jays have 9, and it's led to that right there. 4 3/4 runs a game.
Lifted toward the left. Slice back to Peralta, and that will retire the side. Kirk got the base hit. He was left on base. And our ball game in the mid-second. Kiermaier for his first major league home run.
Rays are in the postseason. Kiermaier has just hit a slam. The Rays are going to the postseason. Going back. Oh my! To the track, to the wall. It's gone. And Kiermaier makes the play. To have this moment right now, it means the world.
It was the most unreal atmosphere I could ever be a part of.
Here's the throw. Garneau's got it. He is out at home plate.
This is what it's all about. This is what you play for. It's just such a joy to be a part of. It's a work atmosphere that cannot be replaced. It's truly incredible to be a part of. It really is.
The Rays in tribute to Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier out with the hip injury, 3 Gold Gloves, Platinum Glove. 10 years with the Rays. The Rays and fans showing their appreciation.
Can you believe it's been that long?
No.
10 seasons.
No.
I would not. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but I would not have guessed. Time flies.
Yeah. Well, made his debut in the postseason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and a nice gesture there. We'll see how it all works out going forward. Getting healthy, as we discussed with him the other night, that's the primary objective right now.
Yeah, he was very encouraged too. It feels like he is ahead of the game and able to get back to start being active, and feels like everything is on track to be ready to go, have a full off season, and get ready for 2023. So we'll see.
David Peralta is hitting in the cleanup spot. And the bottom of the second inning underway with a pitch a little wide. Margot next, and then Mastrobuoni. Strike. 1-1. Well, the 7th start Manoah has made against the Rays. He is 3-2 against them with a 169 earned run average. Two 2-1 count on the Rays left fielder. .48 overall on the year for Peralta. That's exactly what he's hit since he's come to the Rays. together with Arizona and the Rays. 57 runs batted in, 12 home runs. It's foul the other way.
I tell you, Manoah is in a brawl with himself out there on the mound, taking a lot of time in between pitches because he does not feel comfortable, and he has not been able to locate but just a handful of his pitches so far.
Two. And he did not go and checked, and it's 3-2.
There was another example. Watch where Kirk is set up. They want it in. This has been the story of the outing. Arm side, he cannot get there. And that was close.
It was very close. Now the 3-2. And a leadoff walk.
Same thing. Kirk is set up in. They're trying to get, catchers will do that. We see Francisco Mejia do that an awful lot. If a guy's struggling arm side, get into the glove side so you force a guy to get good extension. There's Kirk. Give it to me in here. Look at the miss. It's arm side high. I mean, this has been the story of the outing, and that's why Manoah seems out of rhythm and is taking so long in between pitches, because he's trying to figure it out, trying to fix it on the fly. And so far, he's not been able to.
Oh, Manuel Margot. Ground ball down to first. They step on the bag, and now Peralta started to head back to first. And is tagged out by Guerrero. Well, they had the double play staring them in the face, and they actually get 1-3 unassisted.
Well, with him holding the runner on, this chopper right to him, okay, touch the bag, and then right here, Peralta is just kind of trying to gauge if Guerrero is going to throw that ball, that whole cadence, and watch what he does. He's like, okay, he's going to, okay, stop. Oh, he figured that ball was on its way to second base already. Guerrero hung on to it, and then it was too easy.
Miles Mastrobuoni up and away again, and so that continues with Manoah.
Yep, and you see him going back to the mound. He's rushing his delivery, and because of that, he's just not able to get out in front and execute his pitches. And you'd like to put something together against him right now. Last thing you want him to do is struggle first couple of innings trying to get into a rhythm, and then all of a sudden it falls into place.
Yeah, because we've seen how effective he can be when it does fall into place.
Yep.
And the Rays not the only team to see that.
He just does not look right at all.
Ground ball, first base side. Guerrero unassisted. And the Rays do not score. We go to the third, scoreless. Announcing the new Rays Blackout Collection. New line featuring t-shirts and jerseys for players like Rosarena, Bronco, and more. Swing by the Bay Republic team stores. Shop the Blackout Collection and other Rays merchandise, hats, jerseys, and more. Purchase in-store or online at thebayrepublic.com. Rasmussen to face Whit Merrifield leading off the third inning. Pitch is a strike. Those are the numbers overall for Merrifield with both Kansas City and Toronto. 9 homers, 50 runs batted in, 3 home runs with Toronto, including 2 here Thursday. Strike count on him. is down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Merrifield had a couple years in Kansas City when he hit over 300. And he fouls it back. Fastball riding in there at 96. Down 2-2. The count now. Let's take a look at that pitch. Pretty close. Yeah, that's a nice pitch. Very good pitch there.
That's a perfect location. I mean, you couldn't put it in a better spot if you're Rasmussen.
And he gets the swing and miss.
That's the Yankee cutter. That was the cutter from the Yankee game. Watch how late, tight, and sharp this is. That really has a slider look as it moves away from Merrifield. And he comes up empty. Slider didn't work, cutter did.
Center fielder, number 25, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Jackie Bradley Jr. Pitch drops in, a breaking ball for a strike. Bradley Jr. long time with the Red Sox, short stint with the Brewers, then back to Boston, and now Toronto, splitting this year between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Rasmussen ahead of him, 0-2. Pitch first, 15 in the second inning. Chopper foul here. Holds the count at 2 strikes. And the Blue Jays with identical records of 84 and 67. The Rays hold the tiebreaker because they have already won the season series. So technically speaking, as you look at the American League wildcard standings, they have the same record, but the Rays are in first place because they have that tiebreaker for winning the season series. Mariners running third behind Toronto right now.
Yeah, I think at this point it's just maintain that lead so that you can, after the Boston series, you can come home.
Yep. And that would be the difference. You want that first round of games in the postseason to be at home or on the road. If you finish atop the wild card standings, then you're going to be at home.
Yep. And, you know, you would make that 9-game, 10-day road trip even longer. You'd add another off day and then potentially 3 more games. And, boy, if you win that series, you go on the road again, too.
And the cut and the miss. Breaking pitch takes care of Bradley Jr. A couple strikeouts here in the 3rd inning.
Knuckle curve. He drops it right under the swing. Jackie Bradley Jr., his eyes get big. He thinks that ball's hanging. I can go up and get it. Went a little bit too high. A little bit of late break on that 12-6er, and that's the way that Drew Rasmussen attacks these opposing hitters. He's got the riding fastball, the hard slider called the cutter, the slider, real slider, and then he's got that curveball that he'll occasionally sprinkle in.
That first pitch, fastball, a little bit inside, crowding George Springer. Ball one in there, though. Awarded first on the catcher's interference call in the first inning. There's a strike. 1-1. Back over the screen, out of play. Jumped out ahead of the Blue Jays DH. 1-2. Swing at a fair ball, grabbed by Mejia. The throw down to first in time, and Springer is out, number 3. Mejia will lead off when we come back. Rays baseball on Bally Sports, brought to you by Frontier. Better, faster, 100% fiber. And by the aggressive attorneys, Winters and Yonker. We are scoreless, headed into the home half of the third. The Rays facing Alex Manoah, who's been trying to find the rhythm of things out there through the first couple innings. Had a little talk with himself behind the mound before beginning the bottom of the third here. Francisco Mejia will lead off against him.
He's just been rushing that delivery, not been able to get out in front and then pinpoint his pitches. He's gotten away with some bad counts, made a couple of good pitches to bail himself out, but has not found that rhythm quite yet.
He takes that first pitch and it's called the ball. 1-0.
Go back to the slider from Drew Rasmussen. Corey Blazer has a blind spot right there.
2-0. Mejia, Choi, and Siri coming up for the Rays in their third. A strike on the inside part of the plate. High ball down the right field line. That's going to be foul and well out of play. Hernandez hustling over there, but no chance to make a play on that one. And a souvenir right there. Rays have had one base runner through the first couple innings. That was a leadoff walk to Peralta in the second. Erased on a double play. 2. That's foul right back. Mejia has had a difficult time, about as difficult as anybody in the Rays lineup, against Manoah. He's just 1 for 10 with 5 strikeouts against him.
Well, maybe this version will leave him a mistake in the middle of the plate. He could do something with it, but Yeah, that's a tough little stretch.
Manoah didn't like the feel of that baseball, flipped it out of play.
The big fella's surly right now. He doesn't like a whole lot of anything.
He's trying to find his rhythm. 2-2. Swing and miss on the fastball. He got the chase up.
Certainly did. Arm side high. That ball well above the zone, too. There was not really much of anything that any hitter is going to be able to accomplish here.
Ji-Man Choi.
Well, he got Aranda looking in the first, and now Mejia swinging to open the third. Here's Ji-Man Choi. Ball. Rays facing Manoah for the third time this year, 7th time in his career already. And he has been tough against the Rays. Ball and a strike the count. The Rays have beaten them a couple times, but in the 6 starts prior to this one, his earned run average is 169. He covers 37 plus innings. And the Rays have won 3 and lost 2. A strike. Inner part 1-2 now.
He does a lot of things well. You know, when you look at some of the particulars, with 2 strikes, batting average against him is 145. Leading off of an inning, a 234 on base percentage. Outstanding. Runners in scoring position, a 157 average. So all of those big markers, he thrives and excels in them.
Pitch a little bit high right there. 2-2.
Manoah begging for this one. That ball right at the top of the zone.
Through the years, he has walked 9 Rays hitters in those games he's pitched against them. 6 of those walks belong to Ji-Man Choi.
Wow.
And he strikes him out this time. Borderline pitch up. And so he gets the 2nd strikeout of the inning. 2 up, 2 down, 3rd strikeout of the outing.
Ji-Man Choi just not taking any chances. That other pitch was close. Everybody seemed to think maybe it could have been called. So all of a sudden, a very similar fastball, and he goes after it. Can't get there. And boy, you do not want to see this guy start to settle in.
Jose Siri. That's a hot shot, but it's foul back a third. Move Tom Hallion around to make the call. And to strike the count. .250 in a Rays uniform. 3 of his 6 home runs since coming to the Rays. Pitch is up. 1-1. Now 1-2. Well, a couple strikeouts and the jump on Siri. It's way wide. 2-2. Siri taking some time outside the batter's box, and Manoah using some of that time on the mound, gathering himself before this 2-2 delivery. Skied to the right side, foul. Guerrero coming in from first, better angle, and he makes the catch. Kirk was out there stalking it, but Guerrero made the grab. On to the fourth inning, scoreless. Score, we're headed into the fourth inning. Well, the Rays with 11 games left in the regular season. And if that postseason were to start today, this is the way everything would break out. The Rays would be hosting the Blue Jays in that AL wild card, Seattle and Cleveland. And the winner of the Rays Toronto club would move on to play Houston. It's the way it breaks out right now.
Yeah, and remember, they do not reseed. You know, so the Yankees being the 2 seed, they could end up playing the 6 seed, while the Astros, the number 1 seed, could play the 4 seed, which would be the Rays. So no reseeding. You're kind of, once you're in a bracket, you're in a bracket.
Bichette leading off the fourth, the 1-0 count. He fouls this one up the right side out of play.
I'll tell you, I love the expanded playoffs. I love the wild card. You're actually having a round now where it's not a one and done.
Yep.
3 game, and it's going to be at the higher seeds home ballpark. Play all 3 right in a row there. I mean, I really love this setup.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. Strike on the outside edge. A nice pitch out there.
Think about all the drama that you're going to have too. I mean, 1 game into the wild card, you're going to have a winner, loser, and then here it is. Basically, game 7 the next day, you got to win.
Yep.
Do you extend it to the 3 games? How are you going to set up, setting up the pitching rotation as you come down to the end of the season, because the wild card races are so tight?
Oh, strike 3, and boy, that pitch down there on the corner end. Bichette didn't think much of it. It caught just a bit of that edge down there for a called 3rd strike.
I think the problem is the hitters are now guessing, because it's being called here. Other times it's clearly not been called, and so it's kind of like, well, which one is it? John Schneider, he's not going to take too kindly to that, although he's much more under control than he was at Kyle Snyder up in Rogers Center.
It was the long, cold, hard stare. And there's a strike on the other side of the plate down there. Strike 1 to Guerrero Jr.
Do you feel that the blood is slowly starting to be brought to a boil? Potentially.
Out away. 1-1. He did go on that one, trying to check, but that is strike 2.
Sir, that was a good call.
Rasmussen has to feel good up in the count. Guerrero coming in 5 of 15 against him with a home run. Been the one guy in this lineup who's been a problem for him. Deep short, backhand Franco. Oh, what a play right there Franco got there, made an accurate throw across the diamond to Choi to get Guerrero Jr. Nicely done by Wander Franco.
So smooth, and that is a very long throw. When you talk about being in the hole at shortstop, we were talking about this in the pregame show, how Wander Franco makes these difficult plays look so easy. I mean, this is a tough play. That's a long throw. Really didn't have a lot of time to step into it. Not only was it strong, but it was accurate. And yes, sir.
There's a man who appreciates that play. Yeah, and you're right about that. He does make it look way easier than it is. Pitch is down to Kirk. No ball, no strikes. We get a shortstop going into the hole to make that throw that accurate.
Yeah.
You don't want to say nonchalant because it was not that, but it almost appears, well, it appears to be much easier than it certainly is. Ground ball by the mound. Mastrobuoni up with it. His toss to first. Strikeout and 2 ground ball outs. We go to the bottom of the 4th, scoreless. No score headed into the bottom of the 4th inning. Don't miss a pitch next year with the Rays 2023 season membership. Choose which plan works best for you. Receive a 20% discount to concessions and merchandise, access to the exclusive Republic Bank draft room, and priority access to 2022 postseason tickets. Visit RaysBaseball.com/season membership. Rays facing the 24-year-old right-hander Alek Manoah. And he has battled his way through the first couple innings of this one, showing some signs in the 3rd maybe of turning the corner a little bit. He's had to battle his way through.
And look at the line. Yep. You would never know it by looking at the line. You'd have to watch the game. And I'll tell you, when you can be as out of rhythm and out of sync as Alek Manoah was the first 2 innings and have a line like that, that's what the really good ones do. Yep. They find a way. And so far, he's done just that.
Jonathan Aranda, the top of the order for the Rays. And there's a strike call. Starts to go. Did he check? Yes, he did, says Tom Hallion. It's a ball and a strike now. It's out of play. Rays facing a tough one tonight. Manoah 23-9 to start his career. Oh, a strike call on the inside corner. Fastball in there gets him looking.
That at bat right there starts to let you know that Manoah is starting to find it, because everything was down to the arm side and then he comes to the glove side and absolutely dots. So he's gotten out in front to be able to execute that pitch. To the arm side, everything is down, so he's getting extension out there. This is the last thing that you wanted to see, is Manoah start to turn things around.
Wander Franco in the box against him now. It's a ball. Wander went out second to first in the first. Franco's put together a nice run, a 10-game hitting streak. Came in hitting over 350 for the life of the 10-gamer. Strike, it's 1-1. Wander 4 for 9 in this series coming in to tonight. Ground ball, that's fair, back to first. Guerrero Jr. making the play by himself. 2 up and 2 down.
I'll tell you something else that Manoah does a very good job of is when we mentioned his arsenal. 62% fastball, and you've got to account for the 4-seam and 2-seam because they differ, similar with velocity, but different attributes to each one. More run with the 2-seamer, obviously, and that 4-seamer gets more ride. All that to say, when you're that heavy with the fastball, guess what? Makes that changeup more effective. And he's got a very good changeup, and he's starting to get it down in the zone. Got that little ground ball there from Franco.
And he gets a strike in to Arozarena. Chasing that one and way behind in the count.
Unfortunately, he's starting to look a whole lot more like himself.
Yep. Look at this pitch.
I mean, that's the sweeper. When they talk about pitch shaping.
1-2.
I mean, how as a hitter, you've got to stay closed. You've got to stay on that pitch when it's covering that much ground. It's so difficult to do. And even if you stay on it, a good chance it's going to find the end of your bat, and certainly not the barrel.
That's a drive back into left center field. Extra bases coming here. 1 hop into the wall. Arozarena will head to second and hold with a double. That's his 40th double of the year. So Randy now with 20 home runs, 32 steals, and 40 doubles.
Yep, the old 20-30-40 club. Trying to sneak that fastball by him. Bad idea. Arozarena just smacks it out into left center field, and then off to the races he goes. That ball was blistered.
He's in scoring position for David Peralta. Takes the pitch down. Scoreless ball game. And the Rays, for the first time tonight, have a man at second base. Foul the other way. Going to drop into the stands, back of third. Peralta came in with 3 at-bats against Manoah, 1 for 3. He walked his first time up. Down.
You could have thrown that pitch. He could have thrown that slider around a corner.
One and two. Yeah, this is a different guy than we saw in the first couple innings. He is tough now. A 1-2. Stairs with it. Fastball up there. 2-2. Ground ball right side. Merrifield from the outfield grabs in the throw. Dug out over there by Guerrero Jr. to retire the Rays. They leave Arozarena at second. No score through 4. We head to the 5th inning. Cheer on the Rays at a Rays watch party while they're on the road in Cleveland facing the Guardians next Tuesday. Watch parties include games, tickets to upcoming home games, autograph prizes, and more. For details, visit RaysBaseball.com/watch party. Matt Chapman leads off. That first pitch from Rasmussen is in there for a strike. A little late move, a cut on that pitch, strike one. Chapman, Hernandez, and then Tapia due up. And that's strike two.
How about the front door cutter and then the front door slider? So now he's showing different variations of the same pitches. Usually, a right-handed hitter, you're going to see those pitches middle of the plate away. Drew Rasmussen showing you that versatility to be able to use the other side of the plate effectively with them too. And I'll tell you, that opens up everything when you can do that.
Taken down and away. One pitches now. He had made 48 through the first 4. And that is strike 3 call. Fastball, bottom of the zone at 96. Well, Randy Arozarena picked up that double in the bottom of the 4th inning, and with that, he becomes the first player since Mookie Betts in 2018 to reach 20, 30, and 40 in those categories. Just the 20th player in Major League history to do that, and the first Ray. 20 homers, 32 stolen bases, and now 40 doubles.
And he just continues to up the ante. What was it, 2020, a season ago?
Yep, fly ball off the bat of Hernandez. That's going to carry to Peralta. Still 2 quick outs here. What do you think about that? When you're the 20th player all time to do that in this game. It's been done 25 times, but by only 20 players. That's a combination of skills there with speed and power.
It fits his game perfectly because he is a line drive hitter. I mean, he really hits the ball hard. Line drive guy, gap to gap. So you're going to get your fair share of home runs, and that's going to lead to a lot of other extra base hits. And
right to Tapia.
He's never met a base he doesn't want to steal. So I think that, and Randy gets greedy. So he's going to see that 20, 30, 40.
Yep.
You know, at some point he's going to want to be 30, 40, 50 guy. I mean, really.
Absolutely. So it bounces in. 1. Time granted. Tapia stepping out. Toronto with a runner reaching on catcher's interference. Then Kirk a leadoff single in the 2nd. Ball bounced foul. So as Rasmussen pitches to Tapia here in the 5th inning, he has faced only one man over the minimum after Springer reached on the catcher's interference. Bichette grounded into the double play. Kirk single to open the 2nd. He was left on base. 11 in a row retired since then. Manuel Tapia rolls it to Mastrobuoni. Up and out with the throw. And it's another 1-2-3 inning. On to the bottom half of inning 5. Rays and the Blue Jays scoreless. 5th inning brought to you by your local GMC dealers.
Who's has emerged from the clubhouse and has now joined the Rays in the dugout here. Tyler Glasnow, after his 4 rehab appearances in Durham, is now back up here with the club. Hasn't officially been added to the active roster just quite yet, but Kevin Cash said we might just see him tomorrow when he exited his press conference last night, and here Glass is. So good to see the Rays ace back here in the dugout. Shane McClanahan told me before today's game he is electric, great leader, great teammate, would love to have him back. As Drew Rasmussen said, it's a potential of adding a Cy Young candidate into our rotation, and Taylor Walls told me it's huge. I saw the replay of his 6 strikeouts yesterday. Disgusting. Guys, it could be Tyler Glasnow time next week in Cleveland, potentially, if all goes well.
Yeah, disgustingly encouraging, actually. And it would really be something to see him back in action. First pitch to Margot taken for a strike.
That is a very descriptive word there. And it's just, it was perfectly used. Just flat out disgusting.
High foul out of play.
What do you think? I mean, Glasnow's stuff is so overpowering. He's so tall, lanky. No one extends and delivers the ball closer to home plate than Tyler Glasnow. And when you think about 100-mile-an-hour heater, you think of the breaking stuff off of that. It's a good word.
Yeah, and that fastball, 97, 98. 6 strikeouts. Swing and a miss, and Margot is out number 1 here in the 5th inning. Our game here is turning into an exhibition by these 2 pitchers. Manoah has found himself, and Rasmussen has been outstanding.
That's that breaking ball that we're talking about. And Drew Rasmussen has a similar slider. Look how much ground that covers. I mean, your bat ends up being not long enough. And, you know, we saw Alek Manoah fighting himself a lot of time in between pitches, a lot of missed pitches in those first 2 innings, and really looking uncomfortable. And I'll tell you, he started to find that rhythm in the 3rd, and now he's rarely missing his spots.
Mr. Boney takes a strike.
Now, who's going to be most opportunistic? Because these 2 pitchers have not given a whole lot of opportunities.
Mr. Boney had a couple hits last night. This one started wide and then broken up to get to the plate for strike 2. Foul the other way, out of play. A couple of runners, a walk drawn by Peralta, the double by Rosarena. Boney, ground ball, Machette short. Makes the throw to first. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Here's a word from Suncoast Credit Union.
So I don't have to be a math genius to figure out which card to use.
Right here.
Suncoast keeps credit cards simple.
Now Francisco Mejia struck out his first time. Noah went to 2-2 with him and got him to chase a fastball up out of the zone. Fouls the first pitch here, strike 1. Manoah 9-2 last year in 20 starts with just under 112 innings. Starting to push, not quite there, but starting to push 190 innings this year. Fastball came back, strike 0-2. Ground ball, just foul. Thoreau Jr. had that line crowded anyway. The ball pulled up that way, foul. Strike pitch. It's fouled. Fastball up borderline in terms of how high it was. So it was fouled back. That's going to be a foul ball. Play, holding the count right there. The pitchers duel tonight. Each team with one hit, no runs. A liner, there's a base hit back up toward the corner and right. Extra bases for Mejia, bobbled by Hernandez. And Mejia's going to go in standing with a double. Down 0-2. And he got that one in the right spot. Inside the line and back toward the corner.
Watch him get around this breaking ball. As the breaking ball is working its way in, he gets out and around it. And so he's able to barrel it and get it on its way into the corner. What a great job by Mejia in that at bat. Not a very comfortable at bat, but look at him. Let him just get out there and flip that ball down into the corner and give the Rays an opportunity here. There haven't been many of them, as we talked about. See if they can take advantage.
Well, the Rays had the 2-out double in the 4th from Arozarena left him on. Now a 2-out double in the 5th by Mejia. And here's Ji-Man Choi. Choi takes the fastball too high. A ball, no strikes. G-Man now 2 of 12 in his career, but one of those hits a home run against Manoah. Time granted. Guy is tough all the time, and when you look at the average with men in scoring position, 157, topping that list. And he just missed there. Fastball, 2-0. Two-out opportunity. 2-0 pitch. 2-1. He got him on the change there. It's 2-2.
This pitch maybe just off the plate, borderline pitch, and it goes the way of Manoah. You see where the setup of Blazier is. He is on that inside corner to Choi, and so he's looking out across the plate at pitches down around the knees. That's a tough angle.
A 2-2 count. Choi takes it upstairs. 96 up there. And the count is 3-2. Manoah went 3-2 with Peralta in the second, walked him. He went 3-2 to Aranda in the first. Got him looking on a fastball in. 2 outs. Mejia at second. 3-2 the count on Ji-Man Choi. Here's the pitch. And a swing and miss. He struck him out. He went up with the fastball at 96 and got him for the second time. No score. Every bit the pitching matchup we thought it might be. Drew Rasmussen has retired 12 in a row. Hasn't walked anybody. 11 of 16 first pitch strikes. And Alex Manoah, a little bit of a slow start to get everything together in the first 2 innings, but boy, since then he has been tough and got a big strikeout of Ji-Man Choi to end the Rays threat in the 5th inning. So we are scoreless.
Well, let's look at a scouting report here on Whit Merrifield as he comes to the plate. Brought to you by Papa John's Grade 8. Because of his time with the Kansas City Royals before coming to the Blue Jays, he has had 8 games against the Rays this season. He's gone 10 for 25. That's a .400 average. 4 doubles, couple home runs, 7 driven in, and guess what? That is par for the course, because over the course of his career in 37 games, he came in hitting .326 with 21 extra base hits and 22 driven in against this tough Rays pitching staff.
And he leads off the 6th. Sends a fly ball deep toward right center field. That ball's going to bound off the wall. Gets a good carom to Siri and into second base. Merrifield with a leadoff double. So right on cue, Merrifield jumps on the first pitch in the 6th inning and doubles off the wall in right center field.
Actually feel bad for the scouting report because it continues. That fastball up, and that's been an effective pitch for Drew Rasmussen. But look at Whit Merrifield. He has had a heck of a series here since coming in as a Blue Jay. You know, he got up to a slow start with them. Was not swinging the bat particularly well. Wasn't even playing that much. But he has come alive as of late. Has had a great series here against the Rays, and that didn't help.
Here's Bradley Jr. Pitch is away. Well, you're right about Merrifield. He hit 2 home runs in the game on Thursday. And a double last night. And a leadoff double in the 6th inning tonight. I want to know the count to Bradley Jr. Pops it up foul. That will carry back out of play. 1-1. And that stops the streak at 12 in a row retired by Rasmussen. Two and one. Bradley Jr. in the 9th spot in their lineup. Springer will be next. Bichette behind him. Just a little bit in there. 3 balls and a strike. Rasmussen just over 60 pitches. Ball 4 up and away. Bradley Jr. draws a walk. 2 on with nobody out. Final weekend of the regular season at Tropicana Field is here. Get your tickets for up to 40% off at RaysBaseball.com/tickets. 2022 season presented by Bayfront Health, St. Petersburg. It will be the Rays and the Blue Jays again tomorrow. Shane McClanahan against Ross Stripling. And that's a 1-10 first pitch. 2 on, nobody out. At the top of the order, George Springer about to step in. Officially 0 for 1. Reached on catcher's interference in the first. And was thrown out by Mejia. A little tapper, Mejia to Choi in the 3rd inning. Stairs. Rasmussen starting his 3rd time through the lineup. A strike. 1-1. Up out of the zone, chased by Springer.
You can see the frustration after the swing because that is a huge swing count. Boy, to take that and get into a 2-1 count with 2 runners aboard, you're going to force Rasmussen out over the plate. Now 1-2. Drew can look to expand here, try to get some weak contact. There's a lot that he can do.
1-2. He got it. Swing and a miss. Another fastball off out of the zone. That's exactly what Rasmussen needed, a strikeout. And he got the chase up.
Did not learn his lesson. He went after the same exact pitch. I mean, that was in the same spot and just never going to get there. You can see how frustrated he is, realizing, what am I doing?
1 gone, and here's Bo Bichette. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first, and the Rays would take another one of those gladly. Outside 1-0. Blue Jays actually lead the American League grounding into double plays. Bichette at the plate. Guerrero Jr. on deck. 2 men aboard. Shot foul the other way. 1-1. Rasmussen got Springer on strikes. Swing pitch 1-1 here. And it's taken for a ball. 2-1. And a big month for Bichette, leading all hitters this month in hits, extra base hits, runs batted in. Tough man to get here for Rasmussen. There are some of those imposing numbers for this month.
Well, I mean, what about the average? There's nothing fluky about 430 for a month, and you're 22, 23 games in.
Swing and miss. 2-2. For for Rasmussen, one pitch at a time with Guerrero Jr. on deck. Rasmussen trying to pitch around the Merrifield double, then the walk to Bradley Jr. Springer on strikes. The 2-2 to Bichette. And a bouncer right side. And they're going to have to go to first. Choi looked to second, decided to go to first with Rasmussen coming over to cover. They get the out and both men advance.
Like to see what G-Man saw down there at second base, because he was just not comfortable making that throw. That chopper, you know, whether the runner, Jackie Bradley Jr. in the way. Right there, he's looking to go there and maybe wander. Just doesn't like what he sees, and so he's, you know what, we're just going to get it out. Let's take a look. That ball's chopped. Here comes Wander. He goes to spin and throw. He's got time. I mean, you can see where Bradley Jr. is. He's got time. I don't think he liked the angle.
Yep.
I think Jackie Bradley Jr. may have been in the way, in between Wander Franco and G-Man, and so he said, I'm not going to try to make the perfect throw. We'll take the out at first.
Guerrero Jr. which is down block. Yeah, I thought he might have had the idea that as he made the throw, Bradley Jr. was headed into the line of where that throw might be going.
Yeah, that's the only reason he didn't make it. I mean, you could clearly see on that shot when he went to turn, Jackie Bradley Jr. wasn't even halfway to second, so there was plenty of time. It's just he's crossing where Wander's heading to the bag. Not worth the risk.
Guerrero takes it down. 2 balls, no strikes. Scoreless game, 2 outs, runners at second and third. Guerrero came into the game 5 of 15 against Rasmussen with a home run. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Guerrero takes it down. It was a strike call. On 2-1. Did he go? Oh, he did not, says Mark Rippinger.
To be the right call. He got close, but he held up.
Strong man to stop the swing.
Yeah.
So it's 3 balls and a strike. 2 outs, second and third. And a big cut miss. Oh, he was all set for that 3-1 fastball. Got the slider.
You know, and that's what Drew Rasmussen can do. You know, he doesn't get stuck with a predictable pitch. He can go with the slider. He can go with the cutter. Any of these pitches moving away from an aggressive right-handed hitter, because more than likely, if he's over aggressive, he's going to pull off of it. Now that doubt starts to creep in.
3-2 count. Here it is. And down and away. He lays off. Came back with a 3-2 slider. So the bases will be loaded. 2 outs. Alejandro Kirk will be the hitter. And Kyle Snyder makes a trip to the mound.
Well, Kirk with a base hit earlier in this game off of Rasmussen, but it was a fastball that was middle. I mean, it was just a mistake pitch that he lined out there. Overall, the Rays game planning against Kirk has been very, very good. It comes down to the execution.
So the conference on the mound in a key spot in this game. Reminder for college students, you can take the Rays right back to school with you this September with MLB.tv. Receive a free subscription to MLB.tv when you attend a game. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Well, a tough out to get right here. Alejandro Kirk. He picked up the first hit of the game, a single back in the second. He is 1 for 2. 2 for 10 in his career against Rasmussen. Bases loaded, 2 outs, scoreless game in the 6th. And the pitch is a strike. Just above the knees. Extended inning for Rasmussen here. 22 pitches in the inning. The 0-1. Now, 36 down there. It's 1-1. Field's double to right center opened this inning. And Bradley Jr. walked. Springer struck out. Bichette a tap right side. Guerrero walked. They're loaded. And the 1-1 pitch. That's a strike outside edge. 96 out there. And the count now in the favor of Rasmussen, 1-2.
You can see Drew really starting to empty the tank here. Every pitch, max effort, realizing what's at stake. Such a huge part of this ball game. You know, you're 6th inning, scoreless. There haven't been a lot of opportunities for either squad. And boy, what a lift this would be if you're able to get out of this inning after that leadoff double.
The 1-2. And it's foul back. That fastball up out of the zone at 96. Foul down the right side.
We were talking about this last night. This right here is incredible. With 2 strikes. And it was 272 coming in. Now down to 268. Those are some incredible numbers. But look at the hitters on that list. Those are some really, really good hitters. Tough to hit with 2.
And just a point under, 100-point swing. See the average 169.
How about that? Those are some incredible numbers by some accomplished hitters who just aren't afraid to hit with 2 strikes, and they do a good job overall of not expanding their zone.
The 1-2. Ground ball shortstop. He'll take it to first. Out there, the Rays get out of that jam. What a job by Rasmussen. He got the ground ball from Kirk. We are still scoreless.
In the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam, and right there, a cutter to start out for strike 1. Fastball down and away, 1-1 count, bases loaded, nowhere to put him. And then he dots a fastball to get the jump in the count, 1-2. Fastball up. Now you're starting to get Kirk swinging. And right there, boy, look at, if you look at the last 3 pitches of that sequence, it was a pyramid. A fastball middle of the zone away, fastball middle of the zone up, and then you've got the fastball in the middle part of the zone. So he just literally, right here, how about this? Boom, fastball right there for strike 2. Now it's 1-2. Okay, boom, foul. Now you just start to build that pyramid. And then you get the ground ball. What a great job of using 3 different fastballs in 3 different locations on 3 different parts of the plate to get out of that inning. That is next level stuff by Rasmussen.
Toronto leaving the bases loaded in the top of the inning. Alek Manoah back to the mound in the bottom of the 6th. Jose Siri will lead off for the Rays, and then back around to the top side, Aranda and Franco. And what a job. 26 pitches in that 6th inning. 83 in the game. And Siri, after that off-speed slider, misses. Strike one. Siri 0 for 1. He hit the pop-up in foul ground handled by the first baseman Guerrero Jr. in his first at bat. And he's chasing that pitch. 0-2. 2 quick strikes. Stays out there and gets him to chase. 3 chases there by Siri.
This slider from Manoah is starting to go to another level. And this one here, this is a bad chase by Jose Siri, of course, but look at the break on that. Look where it starts and then where it ends up. I mean, how far off the end of the bat was that? Manoah has really started to dial in. And you talk about a sweeping breaking ball. I don't know if we've seen one bigger than that.
Yeah, the break on that was about as wide as Siri is tall. I mean,
I think you are close.
Yeah.
You're within
close.
an inch or two.
Yeah. Here's Aranda. 1 ball, no strikes. No runs, 2 hits. No errors for Toronto. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error. Charge to the Rays. Blue Jays have left 4. The Rays 2. He's got out of a big bases loaded spot in the top of the inning. Ronda fouls it. It's 1-1. Ronda 0 for 4. Had a walk in the game last night. For the Rays offense in this series on Thursday with a home run on the 2nd pitch he saw. And a home run, a single, and a walk in the game Thursday. A 1-1 with him. 1 out in the 6th. It's foul back. Fastball. They got him looking on a fastball, an extended at bat in the 1st inning. Looking on a fastball in then. Fastball in, got him in the 4th. He's behind in the count now, 1-2, as he was in the 4th inning when he was caught looking. One, 2. Fouls this one back. Fastball down at the knees. Left 2 men. Toronto 4, including the bases loaded in the top of this inning. 2 is fouled again. Aranda in battle mode now, behind in the count.
And Manoah forcing him to defend the entire strike zone. Pitches down, down and away, up and out of the zone.
Again with the 1-2 pitch from Manoah. Taken inside. Fastball too tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he had that set up perfectly. That very similar to the pitch that he got him on earlier in the game. You get a hitter having to foul off tough pitches all over the place. They start to wonder where they're supposed to be looking. And now that Manoah has gotten himself into rhythm, he can move the ball around and locate.
Low with that pitch. So it's 3-2. A battling at bat by Aranda, falling behind. It's worked into 3 balls, 2 strikes. About to see his 8th pitch of this at bat. Similar situation as in the first full count. He ran a fastball in on the corner to get him looking. 3-2 now in the 6th. And he goes in and down with that fastball this time to walk him. So 1 on with 1 out now. Coming up tomorrow's Rays Live, the pregame presented by CarShield. Shane McClanahan will be on the mound, and we will hear from Stan Borowski, the Rays bullpen coach. And not happy to report that he's retiring. One of the good guys in this game. Franco up there takes the pitch down. Ball, no strikes. Oh, Aranda's at first, 1 out. I think the Rays can build on this. And a liner beats it into center field. Aranda heads to second. Franco is aboard. Served that one through the middle over the infield. 2 on, 1 out.
Now that now increases his hit streak to 11. Great job of staying inside this baseball. Running a 4-seamer in. And boy, he pulls the hands through nicely and uses the middle of the field. I'll tell you, that's what we're seeing more and more from Wander Franco. Talked about him in the pregame show and talked about his elite bat-to-ball skills. Now over the course of this 11-game hitting streak, 45 plate appearances. He only struck out twice. So he is putting the ball in play and giving himself a chance just about every time up there. And now that's led to first and second, 1 out, and meeting on the mound.
Franco's at first, extending what is his longest hitting streak. Aranda's at second. The mound meeting breaks up. Randy Arozarena will be the hitter. Popped the fastball into left center for a double at 108 plus in the 4th inning. Picking up his 40th double of the year. Coming off a big night last night with 6 runs batted in. Vance in a scoreless game in the 6th with 2 men on and 1 out against Manoah. Strike 1. Slider from Manoah. Since the 1st of August, he is topping the list in runs batted in, 40. One down and away. David Phelps up in the bullpen. He was up last night, did not get into the game. did pitch briefly Thursday. A little tapper foul. Advancing the count to a ball and 2 strikes.
That's that slider that we keep talking about that seemingly has gotten better and better as this game has gone on. Watch Randy trying to do everything he can to stay on it, to stay on it, to stay on it, and still, that's all you're able to do. If he executes it, it's almost impossible to do anything with it. You got to hope that he gets around one, that he cuts one off, that he backs one up and hammer that. If he's sweeping it off the plate like that, your only chance is to take it for a ball.
The 1-2. Too far off. 2-2. And strike 3 call. Snap throw down to first. Not in time. Arozarena took that pitch, and it was called a strike by Corey Blazier.
Here's the thing, too. Sometimes these don't get called because of how quickly that Alejandro Kirk gets that ball out. Watch how quickly he gets rid of it. He doesn't give Blazier much of a look at it at all, but it would caught the plate, plenty of it, just above the knees. And that's where the call is made as Kirk then tries to double up at first.
With 2 down.
Now Randy's asking him, how could you even see that? He pulled it out of there and got that throw on its way, but it was there.
It was David Peralta. Put away with a fastball. 8 strikeouts for Manoah now. Peralta under it, sends a fly ball left center. Bradley Jr. is there, and the Rays will leave 2. Both teams threaten in the 6th. They do not score. Sports brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Moffitt Cancer Center, Florida's top choice for beating cancer. The beat goes on here at Tropicana Field, moving on to the 7th inning in a scoreless game.
The road security guard at it again. That hurts every time. I don't know how you do it.
Here we go to the 7th inning. Matt Chapman steps in with Drew Rasmussen dropping in that first pitch, a strike. Well, a scoreless game. Take a look. Manoah, no runs, 3 hits. Rasmussen, no runs, 2 hits. Each pitcher giving up 2 walks. Pitch backed up, stayed inside. 1-1 count. Fly ball into left. That's going to send Peralta back a few steps, but he's got it. Plenty of room out there for him. 1 away. 86 pitches on the night for Rasmussen. He threw 85 his last time out against Houston.
Well, much like a lot of the other starters for the Rays, he shows that ability to be extremely efficient, to get quick outs, to allow him the opportunity to get deeper into a game.
Which is down the pitch count high number this year, 97. He's done that twice. Stan talks it over with Brooks Raley down there looking at some of the reports. Liner into left. Peralta will have to play it off the wall. Hernandez on his way to second with a stand-up double. His 32nd double of the year. And a scoring threat by Toronto.
Well, that's going to end his night, because here comes Kevin Cash looking to bring Brooks Raley in with that information that he's just been given to try to get out of this little spot.
Well, call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
Well, we remain scoreless here in the top of the 7th inning, but the Blue Jays have a runner at second with 1 out. Our Chevy plays of the game. How about Drew Rasmussen? We talked coming in over his last 2 starts. He had given up 8 earned runs in 10 innings. And talked about a bounce back outing, and you could see early in this game that he was determined. That fastball had life to it. It had very good velo. The cutter was outstanding. You see right there climbing the ladder on George Springer, and he put together a heck of a performance pitching into the 7th inning, but responsible for the runner Teoscar Hernandez at second base with 1 out, and here comes Brooks Raley.
Raley facing Danny Jansen, who is the pinch hitter. Jansen hitting for Tapia. First pitch is in there for a strike. So Toronto goes with a right-handed bat against the lefty Raley, making his 57th appearance. Cut and miss. 0-2.
Well, the thing with Brooks Raley is he's not just a quote-unquote lefty specialist. He has the 4 pitches: fastball, cutter, changeup, and that wicked slider that he features. He's got the arsenal to get out anybody.
Let's take it low. A check swing there by Jansen. Raley was in the game against Toronto on Thursday for an inning. Gave up a walk. And then got a double play ball. Teoscar Hernandez running at second after the 2-base hit. Upstairs. 2-2.
Well, this is what we're talking about. When you talk about Brooks Raley, not too shabby. 164 against lefties, just 205 against righties. In fact, the lefties are the 2 home runs, but he's got that arsenal. He is tough on everybody.
2-2. It's wide. The count is full. Jansen 0 for 2 against him. Merrifield on deck. Raley's 3-2 delivery and a ground ball foul. Scoreless game, each team with 3 hits. At this point, both teams have stranded 4 runners. And the 3-2 again. Jansen walks. He takes it low. will head to first. 2 men on, 1 out. And Whit Merrifield will bat. And Jansen's going to be lifted at first.
Number 7, Bradley Zimmer.
Zimmer will run. Jansen at first. Merrifield 1 for 2 in his career against Rayleigh.
Does he dare bunt? The Rays have the corners, now Aranda backing up just a little bit.
The pitch swung on it, a high fly ball back into left. Peralta's going to go to the wall, and that one is gone on the first pitch. Merrifield, who's been red hot in this series, hits one out. A 3-run blast. 3-0 Toronto. It's his 10th home run of the year. His 4th in a Blue Jay uniform.
Breaking ball, middle in, and the answer to the bunt is no. How about 3 of the 10 home runs on the season coming in this series? And Merrifield, he got a breaking ball that stayed flat and didn't have the depth that Rayleigh was looking for, and got it out. And that's the big one, the 3-run.
Here's Bradley Jr. taking a pitch down. 1-0. 1-run charge to Rasmussen. 2 to Rayleigh. Swing and a foul. 1-1. Strike 1-2. The Rays quickly find themselves down by 3 runs in the 7th inning.
Well, you get 3 more cracks, but you're going to have to get busy. There's no doubt about that. You know that Manoah's going right back out.
Bradley Jr. fouls it back. 1-run charge to Rasmussen in 6 1/3. He allows 3 hits, a couple walks, struck out 5. It's another foul ball chopped up the right side. Ball short right. Out there is Mastrobuoni. The Rays had that defense set up perfectly there, allowing Mastrobuoni, who was already in short right, to get out there toward the line and make the play on that one. It's the 2nd out of the inning. And Kevin Cash heads to the mound. George Springer due up, and that's going to be it for Rayleigh. Another call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. By Merrifield has given Toronto the lead. One-of-a-kind winnings are here with the new Florida 300 times the cash scratch-off, featuring a top prize of $15 million and 28 prizes of $1 million or more. Get yours today. The Florida Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. A big series for Merrifield. Double and a home run tonight. 4 home runs with the Toronto Blue Jays. 3 in this series. And Calvin Fauché will be the new pitcher. He just turned 27 a couple days ago. He's on to face Springer. Pitch is fouled back, a fastball to start the at bat. Third of an inning for Raley. He inherited a runner. That runner scored. 2 runs charged to Raley's line on 1 hit, and he walked a man. Quickly 0-2 the count on Springer. Up right side foul. Choi's chasing it. He has room and makes the catch. That will retire the side in the 7th. Toronto scores 3.
Story time. Let's go to Baltimore. Framber Valdez on the mound, hangs a breaking ball. Cedric Mullins. I'll tell you what, the Baltimore Orioles have been troublesome for those Houston Astros, and they are again here tonight. At least the Astros got on the board with 2 runs, but Orioles have 5 and they lead it midway through.
Well, that's the wild card scoreboard and the standings. And Baltimore 3 back of that 3rd spot in the wild card chase. So they're not giving up.
You know what? And Seattle, what's been 21 years since they've been in the postseason, they are leaking oil. They are not playing good baseball at all, while Baltimore thriving, and ironically enough, against the Astros.
Well, a realignment in the outfield for the Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 98 pitches through 6 for Manoah. Manuel Margot to lead off the bottom of the 7th. And he lifts a popper to the right side. And under it to make the catch. Merrifield. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bradley Zimmer's now in center field.
Second baseman, number 78, Miles Mastrobuoni.
Bradley moves from center to right. And Teoscar Hernandez is now the left fielder. Mastrobuoni 0 for 2, 2 ground ball outs tonight. 1 to first, 1 to short. He takes a strike. So the Rays with 3 shots left, including this one here in the 7th inning. A little bit off there. There's a base hit, lined into right. So Mastrobuoni, who joined the team last night, picked up a couple hits, his first 2 in the big leagues. And his first hit of the night in this game.
Well, got to get it in there. That 2-seamer doesn't quite get to the inner part of the plate. Mastrobuoni puts a good swing on it and finds that little 3-4 hole on the right side. And that's what the Rays need base runners. You're down 3. Getting late.
Now it will be Francisco Mejia. Manoah over 100 pitches. Cut and miss, strike 1. And he had doubled in the 5th. He is 1 for 2. Manoah threw 107 pitches against Baltimore in the middle of August. Popped up. That will carry out a play. 0-2. 107 is high water mark in pitch count. since then, 104, 105, 98, 95, 99, and 98. At 104 right now. Upstairs. Ji-Man Choi is on deck. Manoah a little more deliberate between pitches now. One, two. Ground ball right side. Play's going to be to first. Out there, Merrifield took care of that. Third base was left unattended, but no attempt to move, and Kirk was trying to hustle his way down the line from behind the plate.
Yeah, and I think Chapman late was trying to get over there too, realizing an opportunity for Mastrobuoni to get in a race over there. I'll tell you, Merrifield off the bat wanted so badly to get the lead runner, but thought better of it, took the out at first with the 3-run lead, and I'll let Manoah go to work here with Choi. Got to get this run in, got to start to chip away.
G-Man, nothing of 2 tonight. This pitch will equal his single game high this year, 107. And the pitch is upstairs. Swing and miss. Fastball up. Trying to get there. Tough to get on top of that one.
He has gotten him to swing at that pitch all night long. When he's been able to execute the fastball at the top of the zone, G-Man has continued to go after it and still has not solved it.
Upstairs. 2-1. Slow start for Manoah first couple innings, but he has been tough all night, particularly since the third. Two-one pitch upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. John Snyder, the interim manager, pitching coach Pete Walker alongside. On the pitch. Going to go full. 3-2. Two outs, a runner at second, bottom of the 7th, and a foul out of play. He's trying to get on the board, trying to chip into the deficit. Rays left a man on in the 4th, one on in the 5th, two in the 6th, one on here in the 7th at second base right now. And a ground ball by the mound. Bichette up with it, and a quick throw to first is in time. Scooped by Guerrero Jr. Bichette, the shortstop, made the play and the throw. And the Rays will leave a man and trail 3-0. Rays pitchers strike out 10 batters during a home game. Take your mobile ticket to any Cane's Furniture store within 5 days. Receive a coupon for 1 free taco, chips, and medium fountain drink at participating area Tijuana Flats locations. Restrictions apply. For more info, visit CaneSstrikeout.com. Calvin Fauché got the final out in the 7th inning. Back out to begin the 8th. Bichette, Guerrero Jr., and Kirk due up. First pitch, swing and miss, strike one. Chases that one 0-2.
Kevin Fauché has very good breaking stuff. That slider right there we saw for the first 2 pitches here to get to 0-2. Got a very good curveball. They got a lot of depth, a lot of sweeping action to both of them.
Tap right side. Mr. Boney will make the throw to first. One away. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. heads to the plate.
Number 27, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Couple ground ball outs, including one to short back in the 4th when Franco made an outstanding play. Is a strike. Slider to start him.
Obviously feeling pretty confident with that pitch here. 3 straight to Bichette. Lead off Guerrero with 1. Let's put them all in very good spots.
And now there's 95, the fastball for a strike. 0-2.
When you start mixing like that, you get these hitters thinking they're paying attention. They're watching every pitch you throw. They're seeing 4 straight sliders. Okay, and then all of a sudden, boom, you rush 95 by him, get the jump once again.
Foul back. Action in the bullpen for Toronto. Rays have had Rasmussen, Raley, and now Fauché. All the way for Toronto. And a swing and miss. Guerrero out on strikes. The slider got him. 2 up and 2 down. Sign up to be a Rays Insider for early access to postseason tickets, updates on the team, exclusive info, and more. Become a Rays Insider at RaysBaseball.com/newsletter. Tim Mayza, the lefty, up in the bullpen. Pitch is a strike to Kirk. Kirk had a base hit back in the 2nd. Since then, 2 ground ball outs. One and one. look out, up and in. That one sailed all the way to the backstop.
Oh boy.
That'll loosen you up.
Look out. That fastball running up and in, and where you get nervous is right here. I mean, just off the bill of that helmet. 95 miles an hour. That's unnerving. Casey Candaele taking his place in between Pete Walker and John Schneider.
2-2.
I love how our guys are keeping their finger on the pulse, though, because you don't know. The last time that happened, things got a little chirpy.
Yep, yes, they did. Down. So the count is full. Field has had a big night with the 3-run home run in the 7th inning. What's the difference in this game? 3-2. The chopper by the mound, closing in up the middle. Franco makes the pickup and throw to get Kirk. We will go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-0 Toronto.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Toronto.
Well, StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Let's take a look at the strikeouts of Alek Manoah. And I'll tell you, once he started to dial in, especially with that elevated fastball, and then he was able to start moving pitches around the zone, the sweeping slider upstairs with a heater, another slider. That was a fastball actually down middle. And let's take a look at all of them. He had 8, getting them on a host of pitches. The sinker, the 4-seamer, riding that up in the zone, and of course that nasty slider that he featured. And I'll tell you, he was shaky the first 2 innings, really fighting himself, trying to get into a rhythm and having trouble doing it. But once it locked in, he got on quite the roll. But now turns it over to the bullpen. First man up is going to be Tim Mayza, on for the 59th time.
And he will face Jose Siri. The first pitch is a strike call. 113 pitches for Manoah. His season's high, his career high is 114. That came in August of last year against the Angels. Pitch is down. 1-1. He's in the game briefly last night. Ground ball over the mound, up the middle, gloved by Bichette, but no chance. And Siri is aboard to begin the Rays' 8th.
Well, perfectly placed. You know, right here, Siri, that ground ball. Bichette, a heck of a play to get to it and glove it, but smart enough to realize there's no way that I'm going to be able to throw out Jose Siri. Well, that's what you need. Again, base runners, you're into the bullpen now. It's Blue Jay bullpen.
Stock Paredes will pinch hit here for Aranda against the left-hander. Paredes will get a chance to swing the bat. The pitch is down. Ball, no strikes. Paredes with 20 home runs on the year. And that's a strike away from him. They just got a part of the edge. 1-1. Fly ball back into left field. It's going to be caught by Hernandez. 1 out of the 8th. Now Wander Franco. Rays trailed by 3. All 3 of those runs scored in the 7th inning on a home run by Whit Merrifield. Here's the difference in this game. Siri reaching with a base hit to open the Rays' 8th. Franco swings and misses, strike 1. Franco 1 for 3. Chagua on the right side, Ogando on the left down there. The 2 right-handers busy in the bullpen. And that's a strike, putting Franco down 0-2. Jordan Romano up in the bullpen for Toronto. Foul out of play. And strike 3 called. Franco caught looking.
Absolute perfection as far as the setup and then the finish. Everything away, and then you come with that 2-seamer in. You saw the reaction from Franco. He lifts those arms up like he thinks this ball's coming in off the plate, and it is right on the edge.
So 2 outs in the inning with a runner aboard. Here's Randy Arozarena. The pitch to him is a ball. 1-0. One. Randy with a double back in the 4th inning. And right back to the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Siri turns second. And the throw comes back toward the shortstop, Bichette. And Siri at second. Arozarena with a base hit up the middle. And the Rays, with 2 men on and 2 men out, will get the tying run to the plate. And Peralta is going to be lifted in favor of Harold Ramirez. So Ramirez just now announced.
Well, think about just in this half inning how strong this Rays bench has gotten, and that's going to force John Schneider out to bring in Jordan Romano, trying to go for a 4-out save, get Mays out of there.
We will be back in a moment. Call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery.
Ramirez gets ready to step in. Hopefully on Rays Live, the post-game show, we'll be talking about a Rays comeback. We've got plenty more for you after this one wraps up. Presented by the Central Florida Behavioral Health Network, of course. NAL Wildcard Showdown as these 2 teams jockey for that top wildcard spot. We'll hear from Kevin Cash, and I will have interviews from the clubhouse. It's all coming up next with Rich and Doug anchoring our coverage on Rays Live, the postgame. Guys.
Well, thank you very much. And here is the matchup. It will be Harold Ramirez pinch hitting, and he will be facing Jordan Romano. Romano, the closer on this staff, out of their bullpen. 2 men on with 2 men out. The Rays get the potential tying run to the plate. Ramirez with a little chopper over the mound. Grabbed barehanded by Bichette. He throws it away. Siri's going to score. Over to third goes Arozarena. And Ramirez is aboard. And the Rays are on the board. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Boy, you combine the fact that it was a chopper, it looked like it was right off the plate or right out in front of the plate. It becomes a do-or-die play for Bichette because Harold Ramirez gets up the line very well. And so he barehands and throws in one motion. You can see he never had a good grip on that baseball. That went into the palm of his hand and then to the fingertips. Watch his ball. He never has a good grip on it, and that ball sails. And there you go. Maybe that'll open the floodgates.
Well, the Rays are going to call upon Taylor Walls to run at first for Ramirez. So the Rays with 2 outs in the inning. They trail by 2. They have Arozarena at third. They'd love to have another man in scoring position. Manuel Margot will be the hitter. And speed at first and Walls. And the pitch is a strike. Margot grounded out, struck out, and popped out. Grounded into an unassisted double play at first base in the second inning. There goes Walls, and the pitch is foul right back into the screen. So the Rays had Taylor Walls on the move, trying to get him into scoring position.
Well, listen, that's the move here that the Rays are going to pull. It's because of Jordan Romano. When you watch his delivery, he is more locked in on the hitter at the plate. He's got a very high leg kick, a very deliberate delivery to the plate. And you don't see much variation in it. So a lot of levers, a lot of time.
And the pitch is fouled, and that got part of the plate umpire, Corey Blazier.
Four-seam fouled straight back, and it got him right in the nose.
Blazier check there, right in the mask.
Pretty good in the exchange right there. Looked alert. Sound good. I'll tell you what, my man could take a punch.
Tell you.
Jeez.
You're right about that. Set to resume. 2 strikes the count to Margot. Walls breaks the pitch, a swing and miss, and that will retire the side. Rays get a run. We go to the 9th. It's 3-1 Toronto.
Well, it is new teeth now, game summary time, and right now the Blue Jays leading the Rays 3-1 as we head into the top half of the 9th inning. Alek Manoah struggling a little bit early, trying to find a good rhythm. Well, he did after that second inning and ended up pitching 7 scoreless, giving up just 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Drew Rasmussen pitching very effectively himself into the 7th inning, but that was the inning for the Blue Jays, and it was the 3-run homer by Whit Merrifield. That is the difference in the game right now as Christopher Agondo takes them out here for the Rays in the 9th.
Matt Chapman will be the first man he faces. And the first pitch, a slider, stays inside. Taylor Walls now at second base for the Rays. Paredes over at third. Mastrobuoni's in right. Arozarena in left. That pitch is foul. And the count is 1-1.
Randy Arozarena.
So Ogando out there. His mission is to hold the Blue Jays right where they are. But a line drive into left. Arozarena over to make the pickup, and Chapman has himself a base hit. Turning first and holding there. Jay worked an inning and a third, struck out one. And now Ogando touched for the base hit. Oscar Hernandez, part of their 3-run seventh. He doubled with one out, later scored on the Merrifield home run. It's in for strike one.
Fastball slider for Ogando, and you can see that sweeping variety. That seems to be what everybody is looking for here with that slider. Get a little bit of depth, but sweep it.
And he picks up the zone there. 0-2. Ground ball third. Paredes to Walls and across to Choi. They get the 5-4-3 double play. So that erases the leadoff single.
Well, put the slider to work, and you get the contact right to Paredes. He plays it off that left leg very nicely. A really nice feed to Walls. And continue it over to Choi. Pretty standard stuff there, but two big outs for the Rays.
Bradley Zimmer, who entered this game in the seventh in center field, will get his first plate appearance of the night. Strike. Zimmer was in the game late Thursday. One. Rasmussen 6 1/3, Raley a third. Crochet an inning and a third. Now Ogando. Zimmer is down 1-2. The 1-2, and that got him on the foot. So Zimmer is hit by a pitch.
Well, Whit Merrifield coming to the plate. Let's take a look at our all-state mayhem moment, and it certainly was that. Brooks Raley with the breaking ball, and right into that uppercut swing by Merrifield. He caught it perfectly and got it into the left field seats, and unfortunately for the Rays, that was worth 3. And that's all the Blue Jays have.
There's a double and a home run tonight. He's had quite a series, 5 of 11 with those 3 home runs and 2 doubles, 6 runs batted in. First, back in is Zimmer. Toronto scored 3 in the 7th on Merrifield's home run. Merrifield takes that pitch for a strike. Zimmer and Buczynski, short conversation down at first. The move over there. Zimmer's back in. Again, a move to first, a little quicker that time. Chapman opened with the base hit. They got Hernandez to ground into the 5-4-3 double play. Zimmer hit by a pitch on a 1-2 delivery. Down and away. 1-1. Jordan Romano already in the game. Gave up a hit and then got a strikeout to end the 8th. Runner breaks. The pitch is a strike and the throw is in time to get it. Mejia guns down Zimmer. Walls took the throw, put the tag on him. And the Rays get the caught stealing to end the top of the 9th. And here it is. Close and out. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Men for their final shot tonight, bottom of the 9th inning. It's a 3-1 ball game. Romano came on, got the final out in the 8th. Wild card right now, the Rays and the Blue Jays with identical records. And with the season series, the Rays have already won that, so they have that in their back pocket. Mastrobuoni will lead it off here in the bottom of the 9th. And he takes the first pitch outside, 1-0.
Well, give yourself a chance. Get that tying run to the plate.
One Bethancourt has moved out on deck. Hits last night for Mastrobuoni. He singled in the 7th, 1 for 3 tonight. Fouls that one, pitch away, and he fouled it the other way. He's about hit Toronto tonight, 7-5, but they trail 3-1. And a cut and miss. Mastrobuoni is out on strikes.
Jordan Romano, I'll tell you, he really gets leaping towards the plate. And look at this, 99 miles per hour, right out over the heart of the plate, thigh high, and still is able to get the swing and miss. Fastball and slider for Romano.
Christian Bethancourt will be the pinch hitter. Bat for Mejia. Takes a big cut and misses. Strike one.
I'll tell you, he took the big cut because he got a backup hanging slider and he was trying to lose it.
cut again, 0-2. Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A great job by both starting pitchers tonight. Rasmussen 6 1/3, 1 run on 3 hits. Manoah 7 shutout innings on 4 hits. And Bethancourt is out number 2. So the 3 outs recorded by Romano have come on strikeouts.
Boy, look at another fastball, upper 90s, and you can see just the velocity and the location getting by Bethancourt. This ball, look how deep it gets. Not able to catch up.
And now a strike to Ji-Man Choi. Seven again. 0-2. Rays need a base runner to have a shot. Comes in wide at 98. 1-2. Romano delivers. It's way wide. 2-2. Rays and the Blue Jays meeting tomorrow afternoon for the final time during the regular season. And the pitch is up. So now it's 3-2. Scored in the 8th, leaving 2 men on. Trying to get a base runner aboard in the 9th. The 3-2. And a high foul up the right side. And that's out of play.
He hit that over the B ring.
Yes, he did.
I mean, that's not easy to do.
What the launch angle was on that one.
That's a good question.
Three-2. Popped up foul. That's going to be out of play.
Okay, I've got the answer. I want you to take a guess.
Oh,
think about 45-degree angle.
Yeah.
What do you got on that over the B ring?
45-degree angle.
Right. Well, I mean, just think that.
Then you're getting closer to 90.
51.
51.
They had 51 off that.
With a high shot back into right center. Zimmer is there, the center fielder, along with Bradley Jr. And it's going to be Bradley Jr., the right fielder, actually making the catch to end this game. And it's a 3-up, 3-down 9th. 3-1 the final. 3-5-1 for Toronto. 4 left. 1-7-1. 7 left for the Rays. Manoah the winner. 15-7. Rasmussen will take the loss. He's 10-7. Romano with his 35th save. And now the Blue Jays take over the top spot of the wild card standings. Rays magic number stands at 7. 3 hours and 18 minutes to play this game. So it's a 3-1 final. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. For Brian Anderson and the rest of our crew, Dwayne Stats. Rays Live, the postgame with Rich and Doug, coming your way next. We will see you tomorrow afternoon.